Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another options and play video update. Um, it was something I was speaking about during the day on the VTF today, and I thought it was something that probably just worthwhile to just like quickly walk through, like visually. Um, and it was this idea of the speed and the magnitude of the move we've seen year to date. So this is in reference to the spiders, but I mean I'm always talking about the Qs too. I mean both are kind of similar in that sense. That we have for the most part this year obviously been trading lower, but within like the overall downtrend, we've had like kind of like this rubber band action, right? Where you see, I mean like this is from the beginning of January. So you had the drop, right? And then like the bounce. So this was like the start of it, right? And also was one of the bigger moves. And in this case, like the move was roughly like say like about 40 points. Okay, so just it doesn't have to be the exact number, but just to give you an idea, about 40 points, right? And then you can see like after it bounced back, about 30 points. Then from there, had about a 40-point drop, right? Then we get like a nice 30-point rally, and then throughout like the course of March and April and May, I mean, we've had we've had bounces and drops of slightly like differing magnitudes, but I mean you can see that it has been like relatively consistent. That once we get like 30, 35, 40 points, that's typically been about the area where we start to see some sort of signs of like a reversal. Now those reversals, they don't always last, and I mean especially on the upside, the reversals often fail and we end up putting in lower lows. But just in general, right? About 30, 35, 40 points, that's really like the point of like the rubber band where it starts to get stretched and tends to reverse. So just like going back, you can see, I mean, 40 bounce, right? This was about a 40% rally, roll over. This one was a little bit steeper, right? 40 points, bounce. Now from where we were last week to where we are now, 40 points. So yes, might not be the absolute bottom. Yes, we could break, and this could be the point where like that rubber band really snaps and we continue lower. But at the same time, year to date, we've seen this multiple times where 35, 40 points in a very fast manner tends to give us kind of like a counter trend move. So whether that's on the upside or the downside, depending on what like the big swing in the market was. So in this case, it'd be kind of like a bounce. But this was like the idea I was really trying to get across, is that it's like, yeah, things look horrible, the action's terrible, the news is bad, stocks are getting dumped, but year to date, this is also kind of like the point of like the momentum flow where things could maybe start to get a little bit bouncy, right? Just based off of what we've done and like the magnitude of the moves and similar types of reversals year to date. So, I personally am starting to think maybe a little bit more on the bull side, but I mean, at the same time, we need to see some sort of like signals, right? So you need to see some sort of reversal signs start to pop up, some patterns start to emerge. I'm not just gonna, like blindly like step in and start buying calls or whatnot because of this pattern. But if I start to see some sort of quality reversal setups, then maybe I'll get more interested. All right, but that's what I was talking about. So if you heard me mentioning it during the day, that's kind of what was in reference to, is just like this year-to-date pattern of when the rubber band gets stretched, then it tends to snap back, and when we get stretched, snap back, and stretch, snap back, and you get the point. Okay. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information about swing trading with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play. Have a great night, stay well, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.